A statistic out last year shows we're losing World War II veterans at a rate of about 900 per day.
Realizing the time left with our greatest generation is sacred, the Electric Cooperatives of South Carolina funded a $60,000 honor flight last month. It allowed 100 South Carolina World War II vets a chance to see their memorials. Our Low Country reporter Holly Bounds went along for the trip, which turned out to be a bittersweet day.
Yeah, Russ and Tina, it really was. Pomp and circumstance surrounded these vets at every entrance and departure they made that day. Hugs and kisses, flags waving. It really was hard not to smile. But for Sun City's Lloydharrelwwii, who admits all that attention kind of made him feel like a rock star, at first glance of the Iwo Jima Memorial, it did indeed make him remember, and that made him cry. If you want to hear the truth behind a lie,
date of birth, you see, date and place of birth.
Then listen to Lloydharrelwwii talk about the greatest fib he ever told.
She didn't want to do it because she said that would be a lie. I said, well, I'll do the lie. You just sign.
1926 to 1925. It's the change of a birth year he made and convinced his mother to sign off on, because at just 16 years old, he wanted to fight for America.
The reason I did this was because our country was at war.
A 16 going on 17 Lloydharrelwwii found himself joining the Navy. On his 17th birthday, he was 10,500 feet in the air as a passenger in practice flights.
We were up here, we went down like this. Holly, I'm telling you, my stomach was in here.
It was then he prepared for the memories he'd make at 18 that many never lived to tell.
The fight went on and on. But to look over there and see these people on the beach, nobody could get to them. They were half covered with the sand. Holly, burning flesh. I mean, it was a terrible, terrible time.
In a sense, Harold got his $100, train ride home, and discharge papers, and walked away from the war. But on our recent visit to Washington, D.C., particularly the Iwo Jima Memorial,
it's amazing that people remember.
It was evident he did not leave it all behind.
I was in a my action station, general quarter station, I was on a 40mm anti-aircraft gun, and we had 5 on the ship, and I was on the starboard rear, and my position I controlled with like this, the gun barrel going up and down, and I had the firing pin under my right foot, and believe it or not, during all of the fighting, I never ever had to fire my gun in anger.
When it all ended, Harold chose to disconnect best he could, never joining a vets group, only attending one reunion with his comrades. But this 12-hour trip, friends twisted his arm to go on.
It's a very emotional day.
Came at him like a revival, reminding him of the truth within the journey he started with a little white lie.
This is mind-boggling for a 16, almost 17-year-old kid, you know.
An honest feeling of faith he made out there that no matter what comes our way, he'll forever carry in his heart.
We are under attack in this country. And while I fear for our country, it's like a moving tide. It's going to take time to shove it back, but shove it back we will.
Well, Harold says he was simply overwhelmed by all the hugs and thank yous from strangers that day who just saw that he was a World War II veteran and wanted to show their appreciation. That alone gives him hope that the American spirit he found is not fading anytime soon. Holly Bounds, WSAV News 3.